Close your eyes for just a moment. Picture this. You are standing on an open plain. Darkness stretches as far as the eye can see, and behind that darkness, an army of millions, elephants, war horses, swords catching what little light the moon allows. But the man standing before them, the most powerful king the world had ever seen, simply raised his hand and said, "Stop." And the army stopped. No war, no bloodshed, just a voice, one command, and silence. That was Sulaiman, alayhi salam. But that was only the beginning. The real story hadn't even started yet. Thousands of years ago, on the blessed land of Jerusalem, a man was born who would change the course of human history forever. His name was Sulaiman ibn Dawood, alayhi salam. He was a prophet, he was a king, and he was among the chosen servants of Allah, given a gift that no one before or after him was given. Think about it for a second. Have you ever wondered what that bird sitting on your windowsill is thinking? That dog barking somewhere in the distance, what is it actually saying? We assume they're just animals. They don't have anything worth hearing. But Sulaiman A.S. knew. Every sound had meaning. Every chirp, every roar, every silence. He understood it all. Allah said in the Quran, "We have been taught the language of birds." This was a miracle, but more than that, it was a responsibility. Then something happened that no one could have expected. One day, Sulaiman A.S. was marching with his magnificent army along a path. The army was so vast, so powerful, that the very earth trembled beneath their feet. Jinn, humans, birds, all marching together. And then, suddenly, a sound. Tiny, delicate, almost invisible. The voice of an ant. Think about that. An ant. Standing in the path of the world's most powerful king, the ant cried out to her colony, "Go into your homes, quickly, before the army of Sulaiman crushes you without even knowing." And she was terrified. Genuinely, completely terrified. But Sulaiman A.S. stopped. He was moved, deeply moved. He smiled, and he thanked Allah for the gift he had been given, this knowledge, this extraordinary understanding. And then he made a prayer. "O Allah, grant me the ability to be grateful for your blessings upon my parents and upon me, and to do righteous deeds that please you." Pause for a moment. The most powerful king in the world, stopped in his tracks by an ant. That was his greatness. That was the size of his heart. But that was only a glimpse. The real test was still to come. Sulaiman A.S. had a special messenger, a hoopoe bird, a scout. It would travel far and wide, bringing back news from distant lands. It would flutter its wings and land before him whenever something important had been seen. One day, the hoopoe was gone. Sulaiman A.S. noticed. He asked, "Where has it gone? If it doesn't have a good reason, there will be severe punishment." He was displeased, and this was different. When a prophet is displeased, something deep is at stake. But soon, the hoopoe returned, and it spoke, clearly, boldly. "I have seen something you have not seen. I come from Saba, a land ruled by a woman. She has everything, a magnificent throne. But she and her people, they worship the sun, not Allah." Sulaiman A.S. went still. A woman, a powerful ruler, sun worship. This was a problem, a serious problem. Then came the moment that still belongs in the history books. Sulaiman A.S. wrote a letter, just one letter. He sent the hoopoe with it. "Go, deliver this to Queen Bilqis." The letter was direct, clear, without ceremony. "This is from Sulaiman, the prophet of Allah. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Do not stand against me. Come to me in submission." That was it. No threats, no arrogance, just the truth, plain and simple. Queen Bilqis read the letter. She trembled. She gathered her advisors. "A letter has come to me. What do you advise?" The advisors were ready. "We are strong. We have the armies. Say the word and we go to war." But the queen wouldn't have it. She said, "No, let us first observe. Let us send a gift." Let us see what kind of man this truly is." She was wise, she was measured. But for Sulaiman, A.S., a gift? That was an insult. When the messenger arrived with riches, Sulaiman, A.S., stood tall and said, "Do you offer me wealth? What Allah has given me is far greater than anything you could bring. Take your gifts and go back." And then, the moment that left the entire world in awe. Sulaiman, A.S., turned to his court and asked, "Who among you can bring me the throne of Queen Bilqis before she arrives here herself?" A great jinn stood up. "I will bring it before your court session ends." But then, another figure stepped forward, a man, a scholar, one who carried knowledge from the Book of Allah. He said, "I will bring it before your eye can even blink." And the throne was there. One blink, and it was present. Sulaiman, A.S., looked at it and said, "This is the grace of my Lord, a test, to see whether I am truly grateful or whether I turn away." Queen Bilqis was on her way, and Sulaiman, A.S., did one more thing. He had the throne slightly altered, just enough. He wanted to see, would she recognize it or would she not? The queen arrived. She saw the throne. She paused. It seems as though it is the one. A wise answer, a careful answer. Then Sulaiman, A.S., led her into a magnificent palace. The floor was so smooth, so clear, pure crystal, that it looked like flowing water. The queen lifted the hem of her robe, startled, thinking she was about to step into a pool. Sulaiman, A.S., said gently, "It is a palace of glass." She stopped. She stood there, shaken to her core. And then that powerful, extraordinary woman said, "Oh my Lord, I have wronged myself, and today I submit, alongside Sulaiman, to the Lord of all the worlds." Silence. Just silence. An entire civilization transformed in a single moment. This was the way of Sulaiman, A.S. No bloodshed, no war, no threats, just truth, just wisdom, just the straight path. And one of the most powerful rulers the world had ever seen stood before Allah, on her own 2 feet, by her own choice. Think about this. The greatest king in the world, jinn, humans, birds, all under his command. The wind itself obeyed him. Copper and iron bent to his will. But this man stopped his entire army for an ant and brought a queen, not by the sword, but by the truth. That was Sulaiman, A.S., great in power, even greater in heart. And what we can take from this today is this. True power is not what crushes others. True power is what lifts them. True greatness is not measured by your army. True greatness is when you notice the one no one else bothers to see, even if that one is an ant. And true invitation to the truth is never born from a sword. It is born from sincerity. But here's the thing. There came another test in the life of Sulaiman, A.S., a moment that broke him from the inside, a trial unlike anything you may have heard before. And in that moment, what he did, that was the truest mark of a prophet. But the real story was only just about to begin. We'll meet again in the next video with the trial that turned Sulaiman, A.S., back toward Allah one more time. Until then, Allah Hafiz.